Good afternoon and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It's Saturday afternoon. It's my birthday. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. Much appreciated. I'm going out this afternoon with Patrick. We're going to go and have some high tea. So watch out for photos, etc. But I wanted to talk about what I'm doing. Do you know? Basically because as I was done a lot of stuff in the kitchen, moved a lot of stuff about today, froze the stuff that I cooked yesterday. So your chicken, your meatballs, the mince, they're all cooked, they're all frozen. Well, they're now all in the freezer. Um, and I thought, it just came to my head going, do you know, what are you doing here? Why do you do this? Because it's not exactly like you're a prepper. And I was like, well, what is a prepper? Excuse me, I've got something on my glasses. So I was like, well, what is a prepper then? So I went and looked up the definition. And it is someone who is preparing for a disaster. And mainly putting aside food, ammunition, etc., etc. And I was like, well, that's not quite me. I'm not preparing for a huge disaster. I don't think it's possible where I am to be self-sufficient. And certainly with prices for land, etc., around up in Scotland, it's not feasible for me to go off grid. And I'm way too old to be doing that anyway, let's be honest. If I'd been in my 20s, I might have thought about it, but no happening. So then the question is, well, what are you doing? And yes, I do prepare. And yes, I have prepared. In a relatively limited way when you compare it to homesteading. But I have prepared, and it started when the truckers were having problems. You know, there was problems with fuel, there was problems with enough guys with licenses or people with licenses to drive the trucks to get stuff to people. And then, of course, there was panic buying when COVID started, etc. And I was like, right, I am going to actually stock up some stuff and use that and rotate it. And the biggest thing I've taken from this is it saved me so much money. So much money. Because I'm not going out to buy stuff because I need it now. I can take my time. I can choose when to buy things. I can choose to buy them when they're on offer. It's also made me much more conscious of price, even to the point that Patrick has now learned to do the price per 100 grams for things. Even, what was it, last week when we went shopping, we went to Asda. Wait to see if it's still here. Yeah. So we went to Asda and I was like, oh, the spices are all on the rewards app. So you get 10% on your rewards app if you buy the spices. And turmeric, obviously, for my hands, because people had advised get turmeric. So I was like, right, okay, I'll get that. And the jar was £2 for the Schwartz turmeric. And I was like, right, and I'll get 20 pence off because it's 10% on my... So that'll I'll pay £2, but I'll get 20 pence in my app. And then I found Asda. Ground turmeric, the same thing. It's £1. Why would I spend £1.80 when it's £1? There's not much they can do to it. It's the stuff. So little things like that, I am much more conscious of. As you've seen over the last few months, I normally go shopping at stupid o'clock in the morning for Asda because that's when a lot of the reduced stuff is there. There was a time where Asda was putting stuff out at 3:30 in the afternoon, but the last few times I've done that, it's been pointless. It's been like sandwiches or sushi kind of stuff, not the stuff that I would use. So yeah, I've noticed I am much more conscious about what I buy. I am much more conscious about, I've got battery operated equipment, I've got wind up equipment, so basically, as I say, it's not a huge disaster I'm planning for. I'm planning for if the trucks get stopped, whether that's through fuel prices, whether that's through there's too much snow for them to get through. You know, I've got food, I've got toilet rolls, you know, I've got sugar and stuff like that. So we're all good with that. I am prepped for if we've got a power cut. I've got my wind up stuff. I've got my wood burner. I have saved money by using the wood burner, obviously, compared to the electricity. So that I've saved a lot of money by doing things differently. And that's basically how it's benefited me. As I say, I'm not a prepper in the traditional sense, in that I'm ready for war or I'm ready for, you know, some sort of governmental coup or something like that. That's not me. But what I have done is I have stocked up on some stuff. I've learned how to preserve things. You know, I've learned how to make jam, learned how to dehydrate. I've learned how to pressure can. I was going to say I did not learn. YouTube taught me how to crochet during lockdown. And now I can crochet. I mean, it's still just like straight lines. So it's shawls, blankets. I have another machine coming for hats because Kathleen obviously will be walking the dog in the bad weather. I might have to, so hats. We'll be doing that. But yeah, so I just thought I'd come on today before I went out for birthday tea and say that's the kind of prepper I am. And I think there's possibly a different definition for what I am. Probably I'm just prepared. But yeah, I know there's a lot of us out there who are like, yeah, we can't do the homesteading, we can't do the growing the garden full of food. There's so many things we can't do which are within the generally accepted definition of prepper. But we are certainly being prepared. So yeah, that's my thing for today. So now I'm off to go head through to Patrick and go and have some high tea. Catch you later.